wonderful people, my people all around the world, people in America, UK, Kenya, Nigeria, Uganda, South Africa, Namibia, Belize, Australia, Ireland, United Arab Emirates, and any other part of the world, guys. Wonderful people, followers, viewers, subscribers. If this is your first time of stopping by, thank you for stopping by on our channel. And if you are a returning viewer and subscriber, thank you for the love always. My people, this is the Pioneering YouTube channel, and I am _priceless, reaching you live and direct from Abuja, Nigeria, West Africa. Guys, on today's episode, as the title suggests, we are talking about boss and Gitiriba, which I titled it The Power of what? Mentorship. Yes, the power of what? Mentorship. People, that is just wonderful thing. It is resurrected in this life to have someone that can stand up for you. It is good in this life to have someone that is willing and capable of, holding you by the hand, rising you up to the top pinnacle. It is important to have someone that can vouch for you. It is important to have someone that can show you the way, not to be giving you peanuts. It is someone that is genuinely, to find someone that genuinely loves you, likes you from the depth of his heart. And he's not doing it for anything, but he genuinely wants to see you grow. He genuinely wants to see you, scale and become a very better person in this life. And who's that person? That is Marwa. And what does that imply? That implies what? Mentorship. Someone mentoring you, holding you by the hand, ensuring that he does not, abandon you halfway. No. Guys, as I said, as with the title, the power of what? Mentorship. And what Marwa has been able to do in Nyapohanse, it transcends, human thinking. It transcends human limitation. It transcends the thought of what? Not upscaling and becoming a person, a very better person. Because Marwa has succeeded in what? Churning out content creators, YouTubers that they are what? Having a field day and changing their lives. Guys, as that video posted yesterday, which was Sunday, the 4th of August, 2024, by Boss Marwa on his YouTube channel, we saw how Marwa took Gitiriba, through the basic rudiment of what? Project management. He went there, he titled it. He doesn't know that if he has passed the exams of being a boss. Yes. Guys, I could not watch it during premiere, but as I've said, if I miss Marwa's video, I download and watch offline. And I just finished watching now. That is why I'm creating this content. Yes, people. It is something absolutely amazing. It is something absolutely important. It is something absolutely inspiring. That yes, we have someone like Marwa from this part of the world. We have someone like Marwa from this side of the divide that is willing and always willing to what? Show people the way, the light, the truth, and become the better persons. Guys, as you can see, when Marwa took us to Gitiriba's, property, because the first of the construction was almost done. You understand? And Marwa told us that definitely the next massive phase of construction would be commencing pretty soon. And it is based on that Marwa was trying to what? Test him to see how he must have what? Learn and acquire some skills on the job skills, on the process of was being a boss for himself and his project. And you can see, Marwa asked him he said he should tell him three, lesson learned. Yeah? Gitiriba answered. Number one, Gitiriba emphasized the importance of what? Supervision. Guys, before we dive deep into what he has emphasized, I just want to let us know that this is Gitiriba that Marwa has called upon to take some drastic measures to ensure that he stamped his authority, trying to exercise the power of being a leader and a father, a boss when it comes to project construction and supervision, or project management entirely. Marwa has taught him from the onset, from the beginning. Marwa said, instead for you to be paid per day, it is rather to pay people per capability, ability of someone. You understand? Per work done. Guys, that's the best practice. Even here in Nigeria. Even in Nigeria, the best practice is you are being paid. When it comes to construction, you are being paid by what? Your ability to work, capacity, capability. What do you have to offer? Because when you do per day, it encourages what? Laziness among workers. It encourages what? Laziness among masons. It encourages what? Laziness among helpers. In Nigeria, we don't call them handmen. In Nigeria, we call them helpers. Yes, we call them helpers. They are not handmen, but in Kenya, I learned they call them handmen. But in Nigeria, we don't call them handmen. They are called what? Helpers. Yes, guys, that is just something important, because when you allow people, you give them the leverage and the anchoring room to be paid per day, it makes them lazy and they don't want to give out their best, because everybody's thinking, it is not my work and it is not my father's work, so why should I be giving my best? And I'm not the only mason. We have multiple masons, so I don't want to give out my best, and not all of us are working. But when you tell them it's part your ability, how much you've done, your ability to form and cement, blocks, you will see them coming out with the real zeal, with the real power to really what? Give out their best. That is just it. It is something absolutely amazing. It saves you cost. It is, it saves you cost. Because when you intend to do per day, much money will go into the project. And as long as you realize little has been achieved. But when you tell them it's per your ability, you see that project that was meant to last for 1 week, people will construct it under 2 days. Even though everything has its advantage and disadvantage. The disadvantage of what? Being paid per ability or per work done. Sometimes if you are not vigilant enough, and that is why we'll talk about Gitiriba when he talked about supervision. If you are not vigilant enough, they will give you what? Substandard work. Yes, because everybody wants to make money. Nobody wants to dull himself. Nobody wants to be, on a lower, level when the payment is about to be paid or is to be effected. You understand? So if you are not vigilant enough, they will give you, they'll just do shabby work and give you fake, work. So that takes us to what, when Marwa asked him, he talked about what? The ability to supervise, the power to exercise the supervision ability. So as I'm just saying, and that is why it is good to ensure when you give them per work done, you supervise strictly, you ensure that everything is done judiciously and accordingly with the best practices. Because you don't need, as he said, as Gitiriba said, you don't need to give them a breathing space, because once you give them a breathing space, they may likely abuse the privilege and they can do what they want to do. In this part of the world, especially in Africa, people don't want to keep to the standards. It is not like the other clan, maybe you people in America, even you give somebody work, your mind is at rest that because he's a professional, he will do the best. No, here on this part of the divide, people they are less concerned. Yes, and that's just a big deal. So you can see one of his reasons, or one of the lessons he learned, Gitiriba learned so far, was what? Supervision. He has learned to be what? Strict when it comes to supervision. That is just it. Secondly, when asked again, and we're just dwelling on it too, he talked about what? The ability for one as a boss to assign jobs or roles a day prior to the next day. Yes. Because when you don't give them, when you don't assign work to them, a day pario, you encourage them to be lazy, and some people will even turn up at late hours on the sites. Because in Africa, there's what is called quote and unquote African time. People don't keep to time. Mostly, I'm not saying all. Like me, I'm an African, I stay on the African continent, but I hate African time. If I tell you my time is 10 o'clock, it's 10 o'clock. Anytime I give food, I agree. But before then, I will find myself maybe 30 minutes, 20 minutes, or 10 minutes at most, or if I should be late, 5 minutes to that appointed time. That is just it. So when you don't, in Africa, when you don't apportion people roles, especially when it comes to construction, a day before, especially when you are paying per work, it is important you tell them this today, you face this side, do this today, then you today, you face this side, do this today. That makes them, it brings about what? Accountability. It saves you cost and it brings money to them. But remember, don't downplay the importance of what? Supervision. It is something absolutely amazing. But we are good. You know, as I said, Marwa, when he was building newly, Marwa advised him, Marwa taught him, even some of us, some people, not me included, let me exclude myself from this. Some of the people, in fact, and I believe you watching me, you are not part of those people. Some of the people, and mostly they are lazy gang members, they were calling on Marwa, disturbing Marwa, that he should allow the boy, Gitiriba, to do his thing. That Marwa is dictating it to him, he's trying to boss him around, he's trying to, that he should allow him. And Gitiriba listened to them. But you can see, he has realized today that what boss was telling him, because Marwa has constructed what? Villa Medellin from ground zero. I know when Villa Medellin, the first, you know, the first digger that was used to hit the ground, I knew when it was done. And I've been there all this war. Even before then, I've been following boss. Yes. So Marwa has done it before, and this is where the place of experience come into full. But some of us, especially when as I've been saying, when you tend to listen to the lazy gang people and keyboard reactors, you think they're telling you the truth. You think they are happy, they're helping you, they are letting you do the best thing. No. Always listen to whom has experience, whom has taught the road before you. And that is just the bottom line, and that is my call on who? Gitiriba. Whenever Marwa is telling him, he's not bossing you, but rather he's ensuring that as one of his mentees, you follow the best practices and dictates to get things done. That you are not building for Marwa. And it is Marwa's joy to see you build an elastic structure. It is Marwa's joy to see you today set up a structure that will stand the test of time. Not to set up structures that within 5, 10, 15 years it will be shampoo and it will collapse. No. Set up structure that you know will really, better for you. You stand the test of time, 30, 40, 50, probably 100 years to come. But in doing that, you have to follow what best practices. You have to follow what guidelines, and that is strictly what Marwa has been trying to let you know, bro. But you went against it initially, but now you've learned. So sometimes it's good to allow people to go through those things. Let them experience first, because he was coming from a place of inexperience, a naivety background. But now, with this, he must have known how much he has spent. And now he's ready to take Marwa's advice, perspective, ideas, and put them into use towards what helping him to become a better person, saving cost for him, saving money for him. Yes, and project moving at a faster pace. Yes. So project management is very important, bro, and that is where the role of leadership and mentorship comes into play. Marwa, as I've said, is a selfless human being. Human beings that he genuinely wants to see everybody around him. And you can see he started that video with telling us that in next 5 years he wants to see a community that has evolved into something greater, something magnificent, something, very beautiful. And that is why he's ensuring that all the structures they are building now, they are being done in alignment with best practices, in alignment with modern edifices, in alignment with, things that will augur well in the future. And you can even see, he gave him advice. He said, if you want to build, the frontage and almost closer to the main roads, Marwa said, leave some distance. Because if you are constructing, you don't need to think about the now or the immediate gain. You have to figure out what the future. And it takes a visionary person full of wisdom, just like Marwa, to see this. And I'm happy. This dude is learning, and that tells us what? The power of what? Mentorship. And sometimes you allow people to try to lead themselves, and when they don't get it right, then they will now fall back to you and let you know. And that is where what? That's from the basis of this content, and that from the basis upon which this content was created, the power of what? Mentorship. And it is only Marwa that is genuinely from the depth of his heart. He wants people to evolve and become something bigger, something better. Guys, in this life, if you don't have a mentor, try as a person in this life, try in all ways to have a mentor, to have someone that you look up to. Especially Marwa, that has given you people, free access, everything on platter of gold, the people sponsoring you. You can even hear he talked about Passy too in the video. Passy, she's constructing, and I'm glad that maybe she must have listened to me. Lately, she has stopped all those nonsense, almost half-naked shower in the village. Because I see how she do wear, long women, what do they call it? Is it blouse or what? Very long, flowing one. That is fantastic. You don't need to expose your body passing. You are beautiful. You are a beautiful young girl. I understand you are still young. It is unfortunate that you lost your husband. You are still young. But doing all those things will not, it even makes you to look cheaper. So we are happy. Marwa told us in that video that although he was not happy with her, she was trying to play some games. And she was not feeling fine, and she was trying to attract. But we don't want to dwell on that. We don't want to dwell on that. But we are just happy that she's also constructing. And may God Almighty continue blessing who? Marwa, for his selflessness, for his love for these people, for granting them, for taking them and holding them by the hand and giving them opportunity to learn from him through his mentorship. And that is what it implies to be a leader that does not inspire, or a leader that does not teach and leave you halfway. That's just the truth. Wonderful people around the world, my people in America, UK, Canada, Germany, Kenya, Nigeria, United Arab Emirates, Uganda, Germany, and any other part of the world. Guys, welcome and welcome good. This is the Pioneering YouTube channel, and on this channel we talked about what? Studying abroad opportunities, which will be commencing the content any moment, and text on global perspective, just like this. Also documenting traveling experiences. My people, my wonderful guys all around the world, we love you. See us in our next content. We love you. Bye bye.